Alright, this is the other video I was wanting to watch. This just came out, I believe, today? Maybe? 15 hours ago. Okay. Close enough. This is Internet Historian. You might have heard of him. I am become fancy. Theater. Say it with me now. Theater. Let's go.
Brought to you by NordVPN. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Look at you. Uncultured.
Yeah.
Unsophisticated.
Yeah.
Middle class.
I wish.
No, don't speak. You'll just make me row up.
Listen,
I say cover up.
I will say this until it changes, but middle class right now, at least in America, middle class is millionaire. And then upper rich class is billionaire. And I'm sticking to it. Everybody else is poor. Yeah, middle class doesn't actually exist. It's literally just, it's poor people, millionaires, and billionaires. Like, that's it.
Up with this dinner jacket, but I'm afraid that you'd get your head stuck in the sleeve and asphyxiate.
Help, I'm stuck.
Oh my
Listen,
god.
lowborn, don't you want to be refined? Don't you want to be fancy, like moi? That's French. I don't expect you to know what it means.
Oh my god.
But I have some good news. Before this financial year ends, I have decided to make a charitable deduction. It's you, champ. For you see,
Yeah, exactly, Yuko. Exactly.
Virus. I have made several videos, though, which will show you how to bluff your way to the inner circles. Undetected. Yes. By the time the elites find out,
Neon Genesis Evangelion is psychological and intense.
it will be too late. I get you in, you eat all the hors d'oeuvres, and we get out. That's the plan. And
Nice.
let's begin your instruction with theater.
Theater.
The YouTube premium of upper society. And the first section? Symphony. The first period
That sound
of
sent me
performance,
back.
that's called Baroque, from 1600 to 1750. This featured Bach and Vivaldi. Now, there was also a guy named Giuseppe Tartini, and he was the best one of them all, because one evening he had a dream where the devil showed up and presented him with a deal.
The real
The
Griffs
devil
has
would
become a
become his
pet
teacher
artist.
and impart on him everything he knew about music. Yes. Once Tartini had learnt everything he could, he handed over his violin and asked the devil to play.
Yes. I knew
Devil
something like that
played
would happen.
The greatest musical piece that Tartini had ever heard. Tartini woke up with a gasp, and he tried to recreate what he had heard in the dream.
That there
And what he
devil
wrote down
music.
was his most famous piece, the best thing he had
The
ever
devil's
written.
music.
And he said, "This is shite compared to the original. This is nothing better than a tribute." And that's where you get the Tenacious D song from. He named this piece The Devil's Trill, and he claimed that the difference between his version and the version in the dream was so great that he would have smashed his violin and quit music forever had he not needed it for his job. Classical, 1750 to 1830. Mozart and Beethoven show up like da 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 da. Now, Beethoven was famously known for going deaf. Once that happened, everyone told him that he should just quit music forever, but he just wouldn't hear it. Anyway,
What?
there's so much I
Okay,
can say
I see
about
what you
these
did there.
two.
Or I hear what you did there.
Romantic era. Now that's when everybody started kissing, and it's my favorite. Great piece. Mwah. Oh, you played wonderfully too. Mwah.
Oh,
we
yeah,
also enjoyed
yeah.
listening. Mwah. Mwah, 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 mwah.
Just
All you need to
everybody,
know about this
everybody.
one is Chopin and Berlioz. Berlioz.
You had
however,
lips, they
was
were
not
on somebody
getting
else's.
any kisses. He was relatably, painfully single, living alone in Paris. The city of love. So here's how it started. He's there and he's in his early 20s and he is looking for a new GF. So one day he attends a Shakespearean play and on stage he spots an actress and he immediately falls in love with her.
Of course.
He wrote her many notes confessing his love. But her DMs went unreplied. So he began writing a symphony about her. How can she ignore this? And also around this time he started smoking a lot of opium, but don't worry about that.
No,
Anyway, so
wait a
he
minute,
wrote
hold
this
on.
piece just for her.
It's like what you said earlier, Yuko. It's like there's no such thing as an artist that was not addicted to something or on something. It's just no.
However, his DM still went unreplied. For several months he started to get quite disheartened. Until he saw another girl.
Of course.
So he immediately fell in love with her instead. And he said, you know
wow.
what? I'm going to change that symphony I wrote.
So-
Now it's
so
about
surprised.
this other lady, and not about that ugly one that I didn't like anyway. This time, happily, she reciprocated, and they fell in love and were set to
Fictional
marry.
husbands can't quit.
Suddenly, what the fuck? Phones haven't been invented yet. Yes, I'm busy. Oh, Rome? To study? Absolutely. I'll catch the first flight out. So Berlioz went to Rome to study music. However, while he was away, he got some news.
Berlioz. I have to tell you something.
Really?
Sacre bleu. Some
Sacre
other,
bleu.
more handsome musician swooped in and married his girl while he was in Rome, and they ran away together. Berlioz was furious, and he set his mind to solving the problem. I know what I'm going to do.
Write a song? Fall in love again?
I'm gonna murder her
What?
and her lover and her mom.
What?
And
Wait.
then I'm gonna do a self-murder.
Wait.
So this gets pretty elaborate. His idea is to
Wait,
dress
not
up
a
as
joke.
a housemaid. He has bought
This is really his plan as described in his memoirs. He would affectionately name the former mother-in-law to be as the hippopotamus. He despised her especially because he believed she had set up the whole marry while away plan, motivated to prevent Camilla from marrying. Because he is poor. It's all about the money, baby. It's all about the money.
both poison and 2 guns. Now he is going to sneak
It
into the
escalated
house of
so
his
quickly, I wasn't
ex-fiancée,
expecting
and
it.
there she and her mother will be sipping tea, which he has already poisoned. Then he will pull off the clothing and reveal himself. Blam, blam, sad overture. So he heads back home to Paris to
What?
do it. But while on his travels there, takes quite a while, he has to change carriages. And when he does that, he leaves the guns in one of the little cubbies. So he's lost all
course.
his weapons. What is he going to do now?
Of course.
Well, his next leg on the stop is Genoa, and he decides, you know what, let's just skip the murder and go straight to the finale. So he stops off in the port
Oh
city of Genoa,
no.
and he's there at the side of the Mediterranean. He pauses for a moment, then he throws himself in. Now, some people see this whole thing happen, and they think he's had an accident, so they run in to try to save him. They pull him to the shore.
No.
He lived. So he has now reached his lowest point. He dejectedly continues home. He gets back to Paris, and he wallows around, feeling pretty sorry for himself.
I
But
would
he
bet.
decides, you know what? I may as well do what I do best in times of trouble.
write a fucking song or whatever.
Smoke a lot of opium.
No!
And while I do that, I shall write a symphony.
Of course.
Although I ain't gonna name it after that hoe who stole my heart. And so he went back to work. But here's the thing. It was
Write
the
a diss
greatest
track, King.
piece he had ever written. And it premiered to a huge crowd. And you know what? It was a smash hit. #1 on iTunes. But then, and here's a bloody plot twist. Remember the first girl? Well, she attended that concert and she realized that Berlioz was a genius. And then she wrote a letter to your boy saying how good your bloody
that's a-
symphony was.
that's
and
a plot
sorry
twist
about
right
not
there.
replying, I just put my phone down and got super busy or whatever. By the way, I love you. And so Berlioz goes, well, I love you too. And a year later, they were married. There's a beautiful moral of the story. See, fellas,
Wow.
don't jump in the Mediterranean. Anyway,
What?
a few years later they got divorced because
Oh.
weirdly he cheated on his wife with the housemaid. Not that one, a different one. But then he married that housemaid.
But-
Hooray! But then when he died later on, for some reason he gets buried with both of them. It's kind of strange. But moving on to the
What the fuck,
Impressionist
dude?
musicians. Now that's Claude de...
That, wait a minute.
What?
The pussy. The pussy. I didn't mean to pause it right there, but that's perfect. oh man, that took me out. we just went from like plot twist to the pussy. Let's go.
Yeah. Claude, what? You know what? You'd better go to ad time.
Of course. Oh my God, here we go.
Nord Stream.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Today we're playing Assassin's Creed 3. Chat. Come on, chat. Hey, oh, everyone's spamming Nord in the chat.
Oh my God.
Whoa, a new follower. Hey, welcome to the Dream Team Sub Cream. Thank you so much for the great. Oh, unfollowed.
Ah!
Sorry, guys. The cleaners are here. Sorry, just ignore the mess.
Oh my
I
God.
haven't cleaned up these bottles yet. No, it's just tea. It's just tea. I stream for 10 hours a day, and it's like the algorithm is against me or something. How come everyone is watching Asmon's stream? And I'm not getting any new followers. I'm playing the games. What more do you want me to do? Just a quick word from the
more do you
sponsor.
want?
NordVPN is the VPN that you can trust. So go to nordvpn.com/internethistorian for a huge deal on a 2-year plan plus 4 bonus months for free plus a 30-day money-back guarantee. My God. Today we are gonna be watching the new Snow White movie. I love the intro. Oh, I love seeing that Disney logo. That's brilliant. That's brilliant. Guys, I'm just gonna get up and get some food. I'll be back in a minute.
Oh my God.
What the f? Who reported my stream? Hello, my Nordlings. Welcome back to the stream. Can we get some ends in the chat, guys? Not like that. Mods! Welcome back to the
This is a.
ASMR stream.
Oh my God.
for
This
NordVPN.
is a fucking journey, you guys.
I'm gonna be drinking a can of Coke.
I feel like.
While I say the word Nord. Nord.
I feel like.
Hey, thank you for the tier 3 sub.
I feel like we're like going through every single type of like streamer and YouTuber at the same time. Like, oh yeah, you hate that, don't you, Phoenix? Oh fuck.
With NordVPN, I can be outside my house, Jack's Films house, Samito's house, Ordinary Things house. Just like that. Welcome back to the hot tub stream. What do you guys mean? How many hot dogs can I put in my mouth? What? I'll just... Oh my God. $5,000 donation. Thank you so much.
You're
you guys are such good friends.
So
Streaming's not for me.
sweet. Smell my
I'd rather
armpit.
Go to nordvpn.com/internethistorian to get a huge deal on a 2-year plan plus 4 months for free. And over.
Their fucking ad things, sponsorships
Netflix,
are so fucking out there. Show feet.
All tucked
That's
in with a
$10,000.
3-hour essay on Good Game Good, and here's why.
Fallout New Vegas is actually the only based Bethesda game.
Turn that off. I've got something for you much less enjoyable and far more expensive. We're going to the
Theater.
theater. From the ancient Greek, theatron, the most dramatic of the
I knew it was coming.
It means a place for viewing. Here's a Roman theatre. They were quite simple back then. You have the stage, the auditorium, and the vomitorium. Now, for a very long time, people thought that the vomitorium was a place where the Romans would gorge themselves, where they would eat so much that they would throw up and then gorge themselves again because they were so decadent and or bulimic. But it comes from the word vomere, which means to spew forth, because that's where people go in and out. So vomitorium is just a dramatic way of saying the entrance. Now, if you skip forward to the 1800s, things are getting a lot more modernized, but they still didn't have electric, so they had what's called the limelight. And that's why they say, to be in the limelight, to be the star of the show. What they would do was take a piece of quicklime and heat it up super hot, which will naturally glow very bright. They would then take reflective mirrors and lenses to focus the beam, and they would use that as an early form of the spotlight.
Oh, for fuck's
The
sake.
limelight is not because it's green, but because it's made from quicklime. In the modern day, things are a lot more advanced, and they can do all
Just a
sorts
little
of
bit.
cool shit with like lasers going into your eyeballs and all sorts.
Not the Resident Evil movie.
But it's not just the tech that's had an upgrade, it's the architecture as well. In Elizabethan times, they had the yard, and you could get in here for about a penny apiece. And this is where all the poor people stood to watch the shows.
That's where
it's
we would
like
be
when
at.
you go to Oppenheimer, and you end up with the worst seats in the IMAX theater.
Oh
right?
my God,
But thankfully, in modern times,
I remember, I can't even remember what fucking movie it was, but I remember I got the seats where it was literally at the front of the fucking theater, and like I had to, my neck hurt so bad from trying to like see this big ass screen while I'm literally making out with it. I'm so close. I can't never again.
fixed
Never.
that problem.
I would rather
We
not see
kicked
a
out
movie
all the
than
poor
do that.
people, and we sunk the floor down low and put in an orchestra pit. Now, these things are usually 6 to 12 feet deep, so they're not obstructing the audience's view. But having a
Oh my
giant
God,
hole
Phoenix.
at the end of a stage is quite dangerous. So usually they put a big net there as well.
Is that the
And
one?
yet, a
Oh
lot
my
of
God.
people still get pitted. Like a lot of people. In 2011,
No, lower.
during a production of
Trauma.
The Sound of Music, one of the lead actresses fell into the orchestra pit and was left paralyzed from the waist down. In 2009, a conductor,
Damn.
not a superconductor, just a regular one, fell 14 feet into the dark pit and broke 9 vertebrae and 1 ankle.
Ew. Damn.
Mamma mia. And he fell on his pointy
Okay,
conducting
all right.
thing. At the Bolshoi Theatre,
Okay.
a violinist died from his injuries after falling into the pit.
What
This
the
theatre is prone to all sorts of accidents, by the way. It's
What
kinda
the
cursed.
fuck?
But performers and musicians aren't the only ones falling into the pit. In 1988, an 82-year-old man fell from his balcony box seating all the way down into the pit during a performance of Macbeth. He died. Very
Old
spooky.
falling guy.
Even already dead people are getting pitted. In 2016, a man sprinkled his friend's ashes into the orchestra pit at the Met Theatre. This happened during the intermission, and it was
Okay, people need to stop doing this shit. Stop. Stop. That's not where. No. Just stop doing this shit, people. Stop doing it.
a sort of tribute to a mentor of his. But of course, people went, "What the hell are you doing?" And he goes,
Just casually.
I
just
know,"
casually-
and he flees the scene.
Throwing a
Everyone's
dead
coughing
body
and
around
sneezing
is what
up
you're
dead
doing.
guy, and people think, is this anthrax? What is this? So they call in the anti-terrorism police, and the whole show is cancelled for the rest of the evening.
Like, just fuck off with that shit. Just stop it.
A quick intermission.
Spreading your trauma everywhere. Trauma.
Or is it? Ooh, TD, I am the Trap Master. Not like that. Do not ask me to reveal my secrets, woman. I have dedicated my life to the mysteries of the theater. Ah, the theater. She has so many enigmatic traps. Let us start with the most simple yet devious, the wall trap. It allows the actor to walk directly into the set piece. Ah, where did he go? Nobody knows. Cast your eyes over here.
It's a
to
Mr.
the
Wee.
genie trap. Now the victim stands on this dumbwaiter, and a counterweight launches their hapless body up onto the stage. Wheesh. In the olden days, this circle of
Nice.
flaps would sometimes go on top, and then that would make the whole thing just one way. Now, back when they made this thing, they didn't have hydraulics. So instead, they'd have like 6 stagehands pulling as fast as they could. And sometimes it would go totally wonky, or it wouldn't open properly, or they'd only get about halfway through.
Ooh, damn.
Well,
That
I
would
guess
fucking hurt.
that's it. There's
That
only
would suck.
2. Wrong. This is the vampire trap.
Oh, no.
And if I want to come back up again, this is called the sunroof trap. Very cool. Watch out for the closing doors on this one. It managed to trap Spider-Man's foot back into production in 2013. Me and the Green Goblin, we collabed on this one. All right, there's one more. The Ghost Glide. What you do is stand on this slidey bit, and it ascends diagonally, which makes it look like
Diagonally.
he's coming out of the ground. But the ladies, they're yawning, they're going, ooh, short ghost. But then... 5 foot, 5 foot 1, 5 foot 2. All the ladies are turning their heads now. 5 foot 3, 5
my
foot
God.
4, 5 foot 5. All the ladies are loving it.
Oh my
Now,
fucking
I bet
god.
you're wondering, what happens to the actors when they go down these traps? Are they dead and gone forever? Yes, sometimes. In 1888,
Oh my God.
Frederick Federici was
What a
playing the
name.
role of Mephistopheles in Faust at the Princess Theatre in Melbourne. As he descended the trap at the end of the play, goodbye everybody, goodbye. He had a heart attack and died.
What?
Never seen again.
What?
So as you can imagine, with this many deaths, the theatre has
Yeah, okay, wait a minute. This is extremely cursed. After so much bullshit, you just have to come to a point in your career where you say, listen, I love the theater, but not this one. Okay? Not this one. There ain't enough money in the world for me to go through that curse.
become a highly haunted place. Oh yes. In fact, sometimes you can put
Right,
your
you
ear
go,
right
right?
up to the wall and you can hear 2 male ghosts wrestling. Can't fake that. Ah, another ghost hole. Don't
No!
look inside. I did once. Almost went blind. That's
Not-
why I wear the mask.
Not the
Anyway,
ghost
because of all the ghosts, the theaters do whatever they can to keep the spirits happy. See this? It's called a ghost light. When everything is
Yeah, quote,
closed,
unquote,
it is
wrestling.
kept on always. Kept on for the ghosts, so that they don't, bump their shins in the dark or whatever. At the Palace Theatre in London, there has been some ghostly activity.
It seems to be a bit of a hotspot for ghostly activities.
And that's why they always keep 2 empty seats at the back, so that the ghosts may sit there and watch the show.
So that's why we traditionally kept a couple of seats off sale for the ghosts. However, Harry Potter is so popular that we sell those seats now.
Oh.
Shocker.
Also, most theatres close for 1
Shocker.
day per week, and on those days, the ghosts are left to perform for each other in their own shows, which they like, we think.
I was worried about my own vagina. It
Oh,
needed a
finally,
context,
the vagina
a
monologues.
culture of other
We loved it. We love to see it. We love vagina monologues. Vajages.
You know, I wasn't always part of the elite. In fact, from a very young age,
Oh,
I
God.
grew up in an orphanage.
Of course you did.
No, my parents weren't dead. Rent in that building was just really cheap.
What?
But my parents showed me no
Fucking hell.
affection. And as soon as they could, they sent me off to boarding school. But boards were always their passion, not mine. I tried to run away, but they caught me. And boy, did they throw the book at me. Alas, I did not dodge in time.
Oh my god.
I spent the next few years in a coma.
Oh yeah, we still need to do that.
A Native American town, Pueblo, Acoma. And the people there taught me how to read American. They also had
Read
a local
American,
library, and I spent my days
Fucking hell.
buried in books, learning as much as I could about the arts. And once someone noticed me buried under those books and they rescued me, I knew I wanted to teach default character presets like yourselves, all about Shakespeare. Editor's note. I started Googling Shakespeare and I got kind of distracted, so I don't know. Here's a WAV file. You can do something with this. Put him in like a classroom or something. Alright, attention, everybody. I am your new teacher. You are a bunch of troubled inner city youths. All you know is shoot gun,
Oh my god.
fail test, and crime. But
Really?
I'm a teacher that actually books and reading and stuff are actually pretty epic after all. Now, the earliest known written language is what, Mr. Single Parent Household? I don't know, Teach, but you're never gonna get through to me.
Really?
Oh,
Really?
Well, what if I go back in time? Back in time. In the long, long ago, very few could read. But to be fair, most of the written languages were kinda shit. This is cuneiform, the very first written language, and it has far too much punctuation. Then eventually came along the
punctuation.
Egyptians, and they invented emojis.
Oh
but they
my
would call
god,
them
that- no.
hieroglyphs. Anyway, the typical written thing would go like
Fuck's
this.
sake.
Message for you, sir. Big bird, man with stick, man sitting, circle. Oh, more bills. Eventually that became quite annoying, so the Phoenicians, who were a kind of Lebanese, very progressive especially for those days, now they came up with a better idea. They
The
started
Lebanese.
going, hey, that sounds a bit like an A. Buh, that sounds a bit like a B. Cool. And so on and so on, until we had a proto-form of the alphabet. Now, the Greeks thought that was pretty neato, but they said, let's come up with an even better version with 22 letters, and soon that will be like English. Oral history. Greeks more like geeks. Got 'em. Oh, yeah?
God,
Let me tell you about
shut up,
something
kid.
highly relatable. Of the surviving Greek works, the greatest hits were the Iliad and the Odyssey. Now, because most people couldn't read, this stuff wasn't written down for a very long
You tried to make your own written language too? I tried to do that once. Like, I tried to combine like some of the fantasy languages out there that I could find, like from books and shows and stuff. I tried to combine them, but I got a headache.
time. And instead, it was memorized and performed. And when they performed it, they used one of these, a lyre. Now, this was great for conveying tone, right? So
A lyre.
here's a soft bit, doo-doo-doo, but then this is a big dramatic bit. Dun, 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 dun. Now, the Iliad starts with this guy, Menelaus, king of Sparta, and he has a wife, Helen, and she is a very fine lady. And then the Prince of Troy shows up. His name is Paris, and he goes, damn, shorty, awooga, awooga. Okay? That's what he'd say.
Awooga,
Right?
awooga.
And he and his boys abduct her and took her all the way back to his crib in Troy. Now this makes Menelaus quite miffed.
Hey, hold on there, Buster.
He declares a turf war, but he can't win it alone.
I'm sure that's exactly
so
what he
calls
said.
on his homies.
Yeah,
Odysseus,
this seems really
king
accurate.
of Ithaca, and Achilles, the best drive-by shooter of all time. But Achilles is not in the mood to fight, so the whole of the Iliad is basically spent trying to convince this guy to get involved.
Please? No. Please? No.
Eventually, they win the turf war by being very sneaky. They make a giant horse, which is the symbol of Troy, and they leave it at the front gate. That's their way of saying, "Oh, I guess you win. We're walking away now." And meanwhile,
Wink,
thousands
wink.
of soldiers go off and hide in some bushes. Now, the Trojans are very suspicious, but they can see that the Greek ships are actually sailing away into the horizon. So they know, "Oh, it must be real. It must be real. We've won. We've won the many years war."
Yeah,
But actually, there's
whoa.
almost no one on those ships, and there's a surprise inside the horse.
Hello.
Later
Hello,
that
sneaky
night,
surprise,
when
yeah.
everyone's asleep, boiling hot tzatziki everywhere.
Yeah, that's
and of course,
totally
the
what
soldiers
happened.
wearing thermal protection.
Uh-huh.
They get out and they open the gates, and then everyone comes out
Accurate.
of the bushes,
Historically
running
accurate.
into the city and kill everybody. After
Lovely.
they win the war, Odysseus heads back home to Ithaca. However, on his way, he starts making beef with Poseidon, god of the sea. And Poseidon is mad at the disrespect, so he sends Odysseus on a long-ass detour, and that detour is the story of the Odyssey. Pretty epic, right, kids?
Yeah.
Whoa, Tish, that's
Whoa.
fine. I'm starting to come around. That Odysseus guy is literally me. Yeah, I'm going to try that horse trick on my ops. Homer from Homer's Odyssey is not a character in the
recognize-
story. He's the guy
I recognize what the classroom actors and stuff. I recognize them. I just can't remember the fucking movie they're from because I'm not seeing everything. I know that movie. I know I've seen it.
who tells the story, and then people wrote it down. Now, moving chronologically to the next big one, you've got the Bible. And for all practical purposes, this was basically an oral tradition too. Most people were illiterate by this point, and the Bible was written in Latin, and pretty much only the clergy knew Latin. So they would be the one to recite it to people.
It says that the cute lady at the front should go on a date with me, please. Listen, the rules are the rules. I didn't say it, the book did.
There was a translated
yeah.
version into English,
You know there was
Wycliffe's Bible.
Okay, what just happened? You know that happened. You know that shit happened back in the day. I wouldn't be surprised if someone's getting away with doing it now, honestly. But that shit was, you know that shit was happening back in the day.
And you better believe that thing was a threat to the order. So they made
Yeah, I
that
think they made us
illegal
watch
to own.
it in school,
And if
because
you
I
were
think that's where
found
I
with
first
an
saw it.
unlicensed copy, the punishment would be death. So it remained. The Bible was read to the people. Now, by the 1300s came Chaucer, who wrote the Canterbury Tales, and that was a pretty big deal.
Get this book now.
Because it's one of the first significant works written in Middle English. It describes a bunch of people making a pilgrimage from Southwark to Canterbury, which is here to here, which was the longest journey anyone had ever made in the 1300s.
This is not
Now,
true.
it's a whole series of stories,
No.
and most of them can be boiled down to, how come if everyone is on a pilgrimage, you're all so focused on material stuff? Oh, hypocrites much? Dong.
Got him.
It's now the 1600s, and they've updated all the textbooks from Middle English to regular. In 1601, King James I said, all right, you know what? Let's everyone have a copy of the Bible they can read. Let's do a King James Bible. I won't feature in it, but I'd love to be in the title. And he commissioned a committee of scholars to rewrite the thing in English, God's language.
Oh,
It took 8
fucking hell.
years.
Stop.
And that brings us to Shakespeare. And he's a huge deal. Oh, look, we're out of time.
Which English king is the gay
but
one?
sir,
All of them.
Oh, but sir, we're supposed to do penis inspection day today. No,
Not
there's
penis
no
inspection day.
time. Roll the end card. The end.
What the fuck? We're gonna end on penis
All right,
inspection
that's the
day?
lesson. You
Seriously?
watched the whole video. Or at least, you had it on in the background while you scrolled your phone.
Hey.
And I couldn't be prouder of you. There's just one more quick thing I want to tell you about. Theater props. For example, this gun.
Oh no.
Now, the thing... Oh, look who it is.
No!
I know what you're thinking, but it's just an actor. We all know that the real Lincoln is dead. When he fell asleep on the tracks of the Underground Railroad.
That is not.
Anyway,
That is.
This thing is super
That
realistic.
is not how it happened.
Although the trigger is a little loose. Ruh-roh. Oh, I can't believe you did that. But I won't tell
Fucking hell.
anyone. And, you know, in fact, good news. I'm gonna make you my little protege, and I will be your proto-jo. And I got so
Seriously?
many more lessons to teach. Still here, huh? Yes,
no,
just a little
not the-
cleaning. More good news.
Not
Next
the
video
cleaning
is
the
almost
blood.
done. It'll be on incognito mode, and it's about the art. And the next main channel video is also nearly done. That'll be out
Fancy
shortly
2?
after.
Question mark?
If you're looking for more content in the meanwhile, we have another channel called Story Mode. The Metal Gear Solid and Forspoken videos are especially good. Don't forget NordVPN. Thank you for watching. More soon.
Yeah, I don't think they've posted a story mode video in a while though. Did you guys enjoy the theater? Did you enjoy it? A lot of trauma in theater.